Even for a man known for his public tirades, this was pretty explosive. Yevgeny Prigozhin, founder of the Wagner mercenary group, accusing Russian defense chiefs of deliberately starving his men of ammunition as they were thrown into what he called the meatgrinder of Bakhmut.
Околовоенных бюрократов из Минобороны задавила жлоба, по-русски говоря.
Prigozhin said the Russian military was jealous of his men's success and wanted a victory for themselves. To try and make sure Wagner failed, they'd cut their supplies, providing his mercenaries with just a tenth of the ammunition they needed.
Поэтому с 10 мая 23 года
Despite weeks of bitter fighting, the Russians have failed to take all of Bakhmut. Wagner fighters, many of them former convicts, have led the assault, taking huge losses. The US government says more than 100,000 Russian troops have been killed or wounded since December, half of them Wagner mercenaries. Although Bakhmut itself has no real strategic importance, the Russians want it as a stepping stone to two bigger cities, Kramatorsk and Sloviansk. President Putin ordered it taken by May the 9th to coincide with Russia's annual Victory Day celebrations, marking the Soviet Union's triumph over Nazi Germany. And in recent weeks the Russians have made advances, but at a huge cost. Ukraine sees the former mining city as a symbol of resistance. The battle, a way to kill as many Russian troops as possible ahead of its expected counteroffensive. Prigozhin's been involved in a feud with the heads of Russia's military for some time, the Kremlin increasingly keen to contain his influence. Whether he'll do as he says and pull his men out isn't certain. The 61-year-old former chef has made empty threats before. But for President Putin, it's an embarrassing internal rift that could have real military consequences in the meat grinder of Bakhmut. Simon Newton, Forces News.